All right, guys, welcome back for the second series, even I should say, of Season 3 Premier League here for Europe, as we now have ToD versus ForGG getting good to go. Two very familiar faces here in the European scene.
Two super familiar faces. ForGG has just been likable from the get-go.
Yep.
Of course, a big Brood War professional, won a Star League back in the day. With his Brood War history, of course, just talking about that a little bit. But in StarCraft 2, he started very dominant, actually, in ToD, played very well, but made a transfer very early to the team Millennium and moved to Europe and dominated the European scene and has done for a very long time. And ForGG is one of the Koreans, which is, I guess I can say, been adopted very, very nicely by a lot of you guys out there. You like him. You enjoy his games. He's a great individual. I remember the time he kissed Rachel at DreamHack.
Oh, yes, for his lucky kiss.
He asked for a lucky kiss.
I think he wasn't at this recent Valencia, and then he tweeted out that he missed his lucky kiss.
He did.
Aww.
It didn't really help him too much because he lost in the finals to ToD, if I remember anyway.
Yeah.
Or something like that. He didn't win the tournament when he got the kiss. But ForGG is a lovable character, but I know a lot of you guys also love ToD as well. He's been doing a lot of casting in the WCS scene. He's been doing a lot of playing, and has really started to rise up with his skill. But in recent times, he has had a bit of a difficult time. He fell out of Premier League in Season 2 quite fast, but he had a really strong bounce back. And recent players, I didn't even think he'd be able to beat, actually. He went through Cass Targa, who's in this crew, and then Tefl, really convincingly, and got himself back into Premier League.
He somehow does it. I think it was also last season he beat Thorzane in that game that we cast in the other studio. So somehow, some way, he doesn't even go into the groups in those Challenger Leagues. He just kind of goes straight through the bracket and gets that position straight away.
He's got another chance, man. Another chance. Round of 32, a new season, a new start here for ToD against what a player, ForGG. Let's get into the next game and introduce these two fine gentlemen.
Oh, yes. And I've just noticed what's going on here, but let's do the intros as we have spawning up to the top left-hand corner representing XMG and France. He is ToD. And down to the bottom right-hand corner, our Red Terran representing, I was about to say France then, but Korea and Millennium. He is ForGG.
And France.
And France,
and France. So ToD has the pylon coming down very aggressively here and is going to go for a bit of, we'd like to say as Protoss players, some special tactics.
It's a mask. It's a mask. It's a fraud for cheesy play.
Yeah, I hated on White Ruff. Well, no, like in a friendly banter way. Say, can you just cut the crap with special tactics, man? Just call yourself a cheesy player. Like, there's no need to hide it, man. All right, here comes the gateway down. 11 gateway. This will be backed up with gas here and Cybercore. Very aggressive proxy play. This is interesting. Interesting play from ToD, but ToD is a player who knows how ForGG plays.
Yes.
One of ForGG's weaknesses, which he's been working on a lot recently, is improving his scouting, because he doesn't like to scout. Because so many people do the same thing over and over and over and over that he changes it up all the time. He doesn't scout it, and nobody changes it up against him, so he doesn't need to scout very often.
And because of the way in which ToD opens, his gas is a little bit later than normal, but of course his units are always going to be there a bit more aggressively. So ForGG, he is going to add on that second supply depot. I was going to be surprised if he didn't. So this gives him a little bit more defensive posture, but still, this is annoying here for him, and he's not going to see this. The SCV is just going to go straight across the map.
I mean, what are you really scouting for? Proxy gateways in this matchup when you've got a wall off and everything here, which is actually going to help him out quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
But ForGG is known for going for command center first as well, different things here. But ToD's going to go double Zealot Stalker behind this. But luckily for ForGG, he is scouting. He is going to get over there. And we'll have a question mark. It'll be like an anime series, like all the 6 question marks around his head. Bloop, 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 bloop. What's going on?
Well, he's certainly going to know in just a little bit as he goes in and sees there's no gateway.
Like, wait a minute, there's gas? Do you know what he does now? Is should build a bunker immediately on his ramp. Like, that's the #1. These two Zealots are like, oh no, there's a wall already. And of course, with a bunker coming down at the same time as it takes to build a Stalker pretty much, with the walking distance too, I don't really see this bunker not working.
Yeah.
Then what does ToD do with his units and his gateway?
And his pylon.
He can't pick up the gateway and fly it back to his main base, unfortunately. And this has been a bit of a flop.
Yep, it certainly has been. Protoss cannot warp their gateways back home as much as they would like to, but for now, Todd's just going to try and expand off the back of this. Admittedly, he has a few units to keep him safe back home, but he is going to lose things, which is always a bit of an annoyance.
Yeah, this is a bit of a pain, let's just say it, because it didn't work out very well for him at all here.
Yeah.
Expecting command center first, no scout, no wall off, just hoping for a lot of things for a cheap and easy win, but that's not the case here. And now with the bunker done, there's actually no threat at all here for ForGG in his main base. He may have to wait a little bit to take his natural, but why does he care when he's already got a good saturation up? He's got his factory starport coming down, a beautiful counterattack play coming in for ForGG too with the Widowmine. Yes, it's great defensively against anything he does and can edge it down to take an expansion, but if we don't see a robotics facility come in the next few seconds from ToD, all right, ToD. I was going to say the Widowmines can get in the mineral lines and cause a havoc.
They could try, but in the end, yep, that robo facility does grace us with its presence, as does the Forge as well. So ToD trying to go for those upgrades pretty darn quickly. Could even just add on a cannon, to be honest.
It's a little bit risky too.
Yeah.
It's definitely, you know, looking for he doesn't know what the follow-up is. So yes, it can be for armor, but it also, as you say, for a cannon in case there are Widowmines in. And, you know, he's got to make that choice now because he's probably seen that Widowmine down there, or I'm not sure if he did. It might have just been outside his range.
Yeah, I think it was. He couldn't see it in the end. So he loses the pylon, he loses the gateway. Always important to kill the pylon off first, just to be more annoying to your opponent. Try and supply block them. He's not really going to be making use of the gateway, and the 2 extra do go down behind this.
I wonder if ToD makes the investment for a cannon. I don't think he would. I think it's more for +1 armor.
Yeah.
Like, to get a cannon's 150 minerals and he's always playing from behind. If I was him, I'd be playing the risky game here. Oh, he's going to get one. Okay, he is going to get one, but, you know, it's an expense you don't really want to have.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it's like, do you want to lock your doors at night or do you not? You don't know a burglar's going to come. Run the risk, man.
Run it. You gotta try.
I don't lock my door at night.
You don't? No?
It's open 24/7.
I don't lock mine because I'm on the top floor of, like, a building that no one's gonna... Yeah.
I actually leave my windows open in my apartment on the top floor.
Yeah?
But I also at the same time get scared because I've never lived on a top floor.
Really?
And it's only four floors high, my apartment building. So I'm also a little bit scared that Spider-Man might come and rob me or something.
Spider-Man. Oh, mine's 11 floors high. So, well, anyway, ForGG trying to drop in there. But that cannon, actually, you know, helped out a little bit in terms of deterring that.
Yeah. But, I mean, would the cannon have really helped? Because the photon overcharges there, Stalker Zala. I mean, it's maybe an expense he didn't have to spend on, but he is 100% safe against his drop in his main base. So, whatever the case, he's defended against it, but he is behind in this game. We can see by the supply differences. One good thing here that is going for ToD is that because of the investment into Widowmine and Marines and Medivacs, Slim's nowhere near complete.
Yeah.
So as long as he keeps up his defense against Widowmines and doesn't take any damage, as a Protoss player, you say to yourself, all right, must defend, must defend, must defend. If I defend, he's delaying a lot of things to make this happen. So far, so good for ToD.
This Drop's trying to find a way in once again here. I don't think he's going to get too much done because there is Chrono Boost on the side.
I see something really big happening because if ToD uses a photon overcharge in the main base to defend against this, which he will have very soon, the Marines coming up at the main.
Oh, this could
actually do so much damage here. ToD does not want to use photon overcharge in the main.
Yeah, I don't think he has to now with that Colossus actually popping out and trying to help out here. So he should be okay and pulls on back to his natural, but this is going to be close.
It is close. Photon overcharge still available here, and I think he realizes upon seeing that photon overcharge wasn't used and the fact that there's a Colossus out, ForGG won't press the issue here and falls back onto a third command center. He doesn't have stim, he doesn't have combat shields, can't really do anything with that.
Yeah, just adding on the armory as well so he can crank out a 2-2 later on if he wants to, along with the second Colossus on the way here for ToD, trying to pin that medevac, that poor medevac in the back top corner, 1 HP. There's no way you're getting out, my friend.
Yeah. Sometimes if it had a bit more, you could boost it past the one Stalker and get out on the left, but...
Bye-bye.
Sorry, not going to happen. He's like, all right, it's a waste of supply.
Yeah.
All right, so in this position, what I'm really looking forward to see now is ForGG style. Have you seen his style recently against Protoss?
Against Protoss, all I could say would be the standard Marine medevac.
Without Ghosts, though.
Ah, without Ghosts.
He does not. He doesn't use Ghosts.
I have not seen
ForGG don't need no Ghosts.
Oh dear, this is going to be interesting then.
Yeah, he actually plays heavy units. Great upgrades, lots of units. Because if you think about it, until there's a lot of Archons out there and so on, you don't need Ghosts, really. If you dodge the storms, it's until your opponent goes very heavy Zealot and very heavy High Templar style, which, in fact, ToD, knowing his opponent, is already starting to build towards. Getting the Templar Archives down very fast, Zealot charge very fast. He is playing to his opponent's style. This is very, very good, but he needs a lot of Archons. He needs a lot of Zealots to be able to tank the amount of damage output. And I mean, it's great, right? If there's no ghosts, no EMPs, no shields are going to be down, it's great, but it takes a long time to get there. And in the circumstances, we're going to see ForGG move out, and I don't think ToD's going to be ready.
And interestingly enough, these two Colossi, I don't think they have Thermal Lance right now, do they? So technically, if he now reads into that and says, well, maybe I don't need that many Vikings then if you're not actually producing any more Colossi, you didn't invest in the upgrade, then maybe he could kind of put 2 and 2 together and try and make the switch. But still, if he's not going to go for it, then, you know, you were saying, you know, if you just dodge the storms, but there's a big difference between just saying that and actually executing it.
Yeah, I know, it is very difficult to do. And, you know, there's going to be so much attack on the ground because he's not invested in Ghosts. He's not wasting Tech Labs, which usually build Marauders.
True.
And he's building Ghosts, you know. So it really does help power a stronger army here for ForGG. He is moving out. He will have 1-1. He does have Stim and Combat Shields. This is a strong attack, which ToD must hold on to. He has a couple of High Templar, so he does have a couple of Storms available. Or will have, should I say. But this is still a strong army. He's going to have to play this out smartly. Observer in a good position to see this.
Yep, he spots everything movement here that is occurring. And
I don't think he dies to this. He shouldn't die to this.
Did Storm finish? It did, didn't it?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, so Storms are available here. He only has a few, maybe 2 or maximum 3 right now on these High Templars, but trying to get that third Nexus up and running as well. So ToD, he knows the position, so he should be okay, I feel, as well.
Yeah, well, the Vikings are going to come in here for a volley.
Doing a lot of damage to one Colossus here that just decides to stick around and die off in the process. Nice Storm, clips a bit of that bio, but second Storm does whiff, and those 2 Colossus are down right now, so that's not much AoE damage that ToD has here.
And he's going to lose his third as well. He's going to have to cancel that. There's no way he's saving it, and that's pretty difficult here. Pretty difficult indeed.
And not too bad a Storm does hit that bio in the end. That bio is very, very weak, and there's actually not that many medevacs, and in fact, just the 1. So really not much longevity in this army. Very, very weak indeed. I think, he's actually just going to go for the Nexus.
He's saying, screw it, I'm so far ahead.
Yeah.
Imagine if he did kill the Nexus, though, it'd be game over, pretty much.
Definitely would be, but he just engages the army straight away. It doesn't matter if these bio army is in those Autumn Shades. He can still bring the thunder here to ToD at that natural, and well, a lot of damage. He even went into the Ghost Academy behind this, knowing what his opponent was up to.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically saying now that I can expend all these units. Just get rid of them.
Yeah.
I've got such a good economy. I can trade off everything you've got for everything I've got because my income is, you know, double what you've got.
And he's just micros back once again. Unfortunately, those Vikings will have to lift for him, and he kills off a few more of his reinforcing units. That one Colossus helped out quite a bit in terms of pushing that away. But now, I mean, as you said, ForGG can just replenish very, very quickly. Look at his production in comparison to what we're seeing from ToD right now. He's having to try and get that third base up, but again, I just don't think it can. No,
it's not going to get down, not down too easily at all, because there will be another attack soon. What I really like from ForGG, who does like to play very ghostless, and when he sees his opponent trying to build towards it with lots of Zealots, he adds on a lot of Hellbats.
Yeah.
It's really nice. He's a very unique style to play. He's really focused hard on improving this. So I do like it as well, with the Blue Flame coming in, of course, going to really get those Hellbats working. But this is an attack coming in now, the second wave. And if we look at the army differences, I don't think ToD has it this time. I'm not too sure. Let's have a look at the Viking count. It's actually non-existent here. So, I mean, I guess there is a hope for sure then.
But they still only, I'm pretty sure they don't have Thermal Lance, right?
Yeah, they don't have Thermal Lance. The upgrades aren't fantastic here. They are in the lead for ForGG as well.
Yeah, and these 2 observers have spotted both of these armies moving into position. He's going to try and deny this base, but ToD is well positioned to deal with that. A nice Storm, and we'll push that away at the third, but still, that natural... Whoa!
Wow, very good defense on both fronts from ToD.
Very nice indeed here. The Zealots will be able to tank enough to probably clean this up with those Stalks reinforcing, and the army supplies and worker supplies. Not too bad. Very good, actually. I didn't expect him to deal with that so well. Very good defense there from ToD on both sides. Waited patiently. Observers in fantastic locations. Exactly. Those two observers were absolutely key in that defense. It really is a testament to actually knowing exactly where your opponent's army is. It can be far more powerful than just having a really strong standing army, because ToD's army was pretty strong, but if it wasn't separated properly there, he would have done
he would have either lost his third, taken a lot of damage on his natural, if not lost it. So definitely nice play there. But this observer again, it should spot this. It does. It sees it briefly. ToD, where is he warping in?
He moved his army just a little bit there, but he's warping in at the natural.
I was looking through his visual. Well, this pilot's going to spot it anyway on the left-hand side. So.
Yeah. Oh, well.
But still, his third base, very open. ToD with a little bit supply block. Majorly supply blocked. Oh, dearie me. Look at that. That's a big supply block here. That's going to hurt because ForGG's about to drop in the main base quite heavily and also potentially come around the third and do damage to the third as well.
It wasn't me. And, well,
behave.
Behave. Well, he does see that army over to the right-hand side, but at the same time, he's been drawn all the way away from his natural. He could actually kill off the Nexus here.
Oh, dear.
Oh, he's going to get it. He's going to get it. He takes that down so fast.
And the third if ToD's not careful.
Oh, wow. Oh, nice. Storm did hit a lot of the army, but I don't think it's enough to deter the rest of this. Pick up in the main and tries to go elsewhere, but he's going to get the Nexus.
The Nexus. He's got both of them.
Oh, wow. What a play. What a play by ForGG. Oh.
Didn't get that one, but still he's dropping in the main base with leftover units from the natural. He's picked off both Colossus there and does maintain a bit of a lead. And this drop in the main base, very difficult to deal with. He's just finally get rid of it with a couple of feedbacks and storms, but with losing that Nexus now, if you look at the income again between both of them, look at it. It makes me feel a little bit ill inside.
Well, he's going to lose an Archon as well. That poor little Archon also feels ill as he does fall down, as well as ForGG just moving back to say, I'm just going to keep macroing up. He always has 3 Hellbat, 3 Marauders, 2 Marines, 4 Medevacs on the way his army. Once the replenishment occurs, I don't know how ToD's going to deal with it.
Yeah, this is... One thing that is working a little bit in ToD's favor here, there isn't maybe +3 armor, like trying to look for weaknesses in ForGG's play. Doesn't have that many units out, but he's got a lot of quality units here.
Yeah.
He has a bigger army. ToD's out in the open unless he hits some wonderful storms here.
Not too bad. Does catch a lot of that bio as well as the Hellbats, but I don't know if he has enough firepower. With the reinforcements coming along as well, those Archons, once they go down, there's really not much left over. Still not too bad.
But look how long the Archons last without Ghosts. They just don't die very fast here.
12 kills and only 1 kill on him, but he was only morphed in, came along at the very end. But yeah, 12 kills on that one Archon. Not too bad.
ForGG's just not really making that many units here.
But he's making it rain.
He's making it rain. He's making a lot of money.
Yeah.
As he was very well known for doing so last year in the summer of 2012, making lots of money across different esports events. But still, he's only building 3 Marauders and 4 Marines per cycle here. It's not that many. I definitely feel he could have more barracks than it is, but he also has 3 factories too. So I guess that's where a lot of his chunk of armies thrown into his Hellbat production.
And actually, he has 11 Medevacs now. He could just... I think he is going to stop that production, but stopping at that number is all right. And he even catches that Observer there. Does he know that that 4th base is going down? No, he doesn't, but he's going to check it now. And guarantee cancel that. I don't see how he could defend.
Nah, it's an eagerly taken base there.
Yep.
Just ForGG's Terran versus Protoss is like a power drill.
Yeah.
That's the best way to describe it. He's not very articulate when it comes to, making the perfect army like play like Thor Zane does or something. He's just like, all right.
It's not exactly surgical. He just decides to absolutely sledgehammer things. And
well, I've been building the kitchen, Claris. I know all about power drills, man. I've been using power drills. I love building my holes.
Yeah, you enjoy doing that. Well, and he kills off another Nexus. Surprise, surprise. ForGG. Wow.
Imagine if he gets to the main Nexus too, that'd be so funny.
I think he might do. Oh no, okay, so I come back to it and it's only a Archon and Immortal actually killing me off, so he should be fine.
Yeah, just complete, power play from ForGG. Just surge of units, streamlined across the map, not really building a lot of Vikings or building a lot of Ghosts. Just building a lot of crap and throwing it at his opponent is the best way to describe ForGG.
And it certainly works. ForGG doing well, killing off the remaining units here of ToD. ToD tried to be a little bit cheeky early on at the beginning, but now ForGG's having none of that.
ForGG's a very, very strong opponent here, and ToD is feeling that as all his probes go and just get absolutely melted.
GG.
GG. Indeed, and ForGG does open up the second series of the day with a map win But ToD did put himself a little bit behind early on. Very early gateway, double zealot, and still didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And had to expand behind it. He did hurt himself. And I like to just emphasize that he hurt himself in that game more so than ForGG, capitalizing on his own good play. So, I think ToD will change things for map number 2. I don't think he'd do anything, a little bit crazy like that.
Yeah. Second map will be Akalon, actually. And then if we need it, third map will be Whirlwind.
So this is definitely a map where ToD plays very defensively.
Oh, yeah.
But this is also a map where there's a lot of good timings that get involved from ForGG, where it be SEV pulls, whether it be a 2-base ghost timing as well, which is something, isn't really, a core fundamental of his play, but definitely a build that he throws in there. I know he doesn't like to use ghost, but in a timing like that, he definitely could do. So this should be a good one, but it is a better map for ToD, I feel here.
Yeah. Bigger macro map in terms of...
He loves that.
Yeah, he certainly does. The amount of times he's come up to me like, hey, look at this replay. Like, it's like a 40-minute game.
It's like 54 minutes long.
Okay, I'll watch it, ToD. I sit here for like 20 minutes whilst he times 8s through it. It's like, why is this taking so long? And he's like, keep pausing it in random times. Like, look at my positioning. I'm like... That's nice, ToD, but it's always fun to listen.
Yeah, of course. He's a great player. Lots to learn from. We'll see if he can really put it into play now against ForGG, because ForGG is an unstoppable power drill that wants to go into the winners match. And what a match it would be against Naniwa. They played yesterday in the Intel Extreme Masters New York qualifier. They could play again today in the winners match if ForGG picks up this next game.
Yeah, they played yesterday. It's very, very close. And if you didn't watch that, we won't spoil it for you. Maybe we'll talk about it when we get closer.
Well, we can just say that ForGG had blessing of the Korean gods. Let's just say that.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's jump into game number 2 to see if ToD can tie up the series, as we have that man spawning up to the top left-hand corner representing XMG as well as France. He is ToD. And down to the bottom right, we have our red Terran representing Millennium, Korea, and France. He is ForGG.
ForGG. What a name. Do you remember when he was called Finn?
Finn? Yes, I do. OGS Finn.
Yeah, he was called Finn. With 1 N.
Yeah, not 2.
Not 2, just 1.
Just 1.
Bit of a silly name.
Yeah, I don't understand that name. It's strange. Why would he change from ForGG to Finn of all names?
Is it short for Finley or?
I don't know. It's a bit weird. Oh well. Regardless, he's back with ForGG. And I like this name, ForGG. It's pretty cool.
It's got a lot of weight behind it.
Yep, it certainly does. The Pretender. Anyway, ToD, pylon in base. Yay. Hurrah.
ToD has a lot of work cut out for him here.
Yeah.
I think. Do you think he can beat Targa if they were to play in the loser match?
Ooh, an interesting question. He actually, because he beat Targa in Challenger 2-0, no less, and he also beat him during Home Story Cup, I believe, 2-1. So ToD does have the winning record against a player such as Targa, but considering Targa's last series, I think that if Targa makes some slight alterations, I think he could beat ToD this time. Okay. If it were to happen.
Yeah, I'm not too sure who would win that one, actually. I think it's really close. It's definitely the closest matchup of all the games we'll see today. Even closer than I think Naniwa and ForGG. I think that'll go in one way. But I'll leave that to find out until we talk about that, if that's going to happen. Yeah. But we do have a gas coming down from ForGG, 15 gas to be precise here, which means he will most likely be looking for a pretty fast command center and most likely a decently timed factory. Because I think that if he was not looking to go for a factory, then he wouldn't have taken the gas at all and would have just expanded earlier, then got additional barracks and played a normal game. But with the gas coming down at this time, I feel it's like a reactor maybe, and then into a factory to follow it up. Something along those lines. Well,
certainly could be here as ForGG just gears up for all of that. And the scout is going to get a perfect intel of what ToD's up to. See exactly what's happening. So there's 2 gases with 2 guys in each. Knows that his opponent's going to try and go for that expansion. Kind of surprised that ForGG didn't pull back and try and block that natural.
Yeah, he could have done it for a little bit there, especially because there wasn't a zealot mate or anything. Yeah, could have done that to slow ToD down, and that is a frustrating move.
Well, technically, it was being built, but he did that cancel thing, right?
So, yeah, but the thing is there's a lot of mind games that go in between the SCV and the gateway. It's the hashtag man games between the gateway and the SCV, because the SCV goes in, he goes, "You're going to cancel that?" And then the gateway's like, "No."
I'm imagining a gateway with little eyes.
Yeah, like they look at each other.
Staring one another down.
And between players, it's actually truth. When you play ladder, it happens a lot, because I go there, I'm like, he's going to cancel that. And he doesn't. I'm like, you should have cancelled that. And then it's the same vice versa. I mean, but I was building a Zealot. Why did you build it?
Yeah.
Because you were going to cancel it. Hashtag Mind Games, man.
Hashtag
WCS
Mind Games.
season 2012.
13.
Well, Mind Games.
Oh, actually, no, you're right.
Man.
Oh, damn. You're sorry. You are right. Fun times, that man. Fun times. I remember Sean comes up to me after it, and he tells the story again because I wasn't watching the stream, and he was still in hysterics the second time he tells it.
Yeah, he tells it time after time and cries the same time every time. All right, so reactor on the barracks and factory. Going to be a bit of a marine. Probably, I expect maybe 4 marine to Widowmine drop initially with the medivac into the main, and then maybe the leftover marines at the front. It's kind of a duo attack, hand in hand, coordinated.
Liking it. And, well, with those Widow Mines out, ToD's, I mean, he kind of already knows what ForGG is going to be doing, not only from past games, but also because of game number 1. So he adds on the Robo pretty quickly. But this is becoming more and more the standard of Protoss. I feel the Robo, the Forge.
This is very normal setup from ToD. The only thing that's a little bit different is getting the +1 attack here instead of armor. Usually want to get armor earlier. Just to deal with the +1 attack that comes at you, so Zealots don't die immediately.
Exactly.
But he's got on +1 attack, so we'll see what that really means, if it is anything to focus on here, or whether he just wants to get +1 attack down. But he is set up quite nicely. He hasn't scouted at all, bear in mind. Not at all. So he has no idea whether this is command center first, barracks command center, Widow Mines coming in. So he is playing a bit of a guessing game here on what he's expecting to see come.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more tricky here for him.
Oh, look at that Twilight Council down really early.
I guess... well, it could actually be
There's
going
a couple of all-ins that come from this.
Yeah.
Like a +2 attack Zealot Archon all-in is very strong.
That's what I was going to say.
But he's going to have to deal with the Widow Mines first. I mean, he hasn't scouted, so he doesn't know it's coming, but he's going to have to play this out kind of carefully. He's got no cannons this time around. It looks like he's kind of just focused on a build, on a strategy, and looking to execute it as best as he can.
Well, ForGG here looking to move across the map and try and do some damage as well. ToD's already set himself up not too well in terms of the defense at the natural, as that Widowmine does burrow. His 2 observers are out in the middle of the map, so not really here to help out against that, and forced to throw in a cannon. Really annoying for him.
Yeah, and this is the problem with not scouting.
Yeah.
I mean, he had no idea what's coming. He's taken a lot of damage. I think he had a plan to go for it, but what can you say when you don't scout? You don't know what's coming, and then you have to react on the fly. Maybe you don't have things set up in place, like the cannon on the natural, and the natural is very close. The Widowmine.
Ooh, one. It could shoot. Oh, it was so close.
Well, it's close. But the thing is now that everything's been spotted here. Everything.
Yes.
So he's seen the Twilight Council, he's seen the tech, he's seen no Colossus. He's losing units left and right. ToD seems to be falling apart a little bit.
He does a little. Will lose that 1 Stalker, maybe? No, actually does save in the end. And now, I mean, the army supplies, it's 30 to 15. Unless he has really good force fields here, he could just actually lose a lot more.
Force fields from what centuries, Kalaris?
Exactly.
And especially because he's got a tech-oriented build, he needs a lot of his gas to be thrown into that tech if that's what he's looking to do. And Immortal's coming in for protection. But he's just simply in a lot of trouble.
He certainly
There's,
is.
you know, a lot of units coming in here. He's going to drop the main base. He's going to put Marines on the natural. And I think ToD may just die. If he doesn't die in one location, he's going to take a lot of damage in the other. Things are not working out very well.
Yeah, he's certainly got quite a nice army up behind this, but again, he doesn't have armor. It's all in that power behind that +1 weapons that he has. He's getting charge as well. So I think, well...
I mean...
He's going up to more probes.
It looks very scrambled, you know, it just looks kind of all over the place. Zealot charge here, then Immortal here, and he's playing very reactionary now because he is on the back foot, but he doesn't really have any big splash damage or damage in itself. Because what we'll see very soon is stim finish, +1 attack finish. There's a 3rd command set. Everything that ForGG wants to have, he's got in the background. But ToD needs splash damage, he needs Templar Archives, or he needs a Robotics Bay, which he has neither of at the moment. Just a bunch of Zealots.
And he only still has that 1 sentry. He has 2 force fields in that sentry there, so how much will that be able to do if he actually wants to go for it? These Zealots, they're not going to tank too much. Oh, warping in a few more sentries as well. That's very helpful. And might be able to hold off these Marines for now.
But the problem is that every fight ToD takes, he has to replenish with units, otherwise he's going to die to the next one.
Yeah.
And every time he does that, it's every time he's not spending money on the tech he needs. And I swear to God, he needs tech. Sure, cannons are going to help him defend, but for how long?
Yeah.
What happens when there's a bunch of Marauders in? What happens when 1-1 is done, when 2-1 is done? And
Nice time warp, but you're right. He needs a Templar Archives or a Robo-Bear. Anything to get the splash damage out there. I would say Templar Archives would be the best option, but even then, you still need to research Storm. You need to buy a lot of time to do that. And to gain that time, ToD either needs to put on counter aggression or shut this army down so wholeheartedly that ForGG's like, whoa, wait a minute. Maybe I shouldn't be pushing in this early.
Well, ToD's found the room now because ForGG's been pushed back with cannons. There comes the Templar Archives, but it's still a long way away from coming in. ToD keeps on building more units because he knows that he has to defend. But until Storm is done, that's quite far away. And with Hellbats coming in now, they're going to be very good against the Zealots.
But ForGG is falling back. He does have his third command center as well, though. That he can quite easily
need to attack. As long as he kind of, I guess it depends on if he's seen the Templar Archives or not. Depends on if he could coordinate an attack. He has too. He scanned and seen it. I did hear the scan. So ideally, he now knows that all he needs is a bunch of medivacs. Come in with a couple of attacks. Make sure he wastes his Storm, and even if he doesn't hit before Storm, he doesn't really need to. As you say, he's got a third command center, got great upgrades. As long as he hits way before Colossus, and that's a long way away from coming in.
Yeah.
Anytime from now until Colossus out in numbers with Thermal Lance is a good time for ForGG to do a lot of damage to ToD, unless the Frenchman, ToD, has his defense set up nicely.
Yeah, well, that hallucinated Phoenix, I think it may have just caught the tail end of that third base. No, it did not, but I mean, I think he can pretty much guarantee that that third base is down now for his opponent. As the Observer's keeping good eyes on his opponent at the front, he has to position himself so carefully. Storm is around 30 seconds from completion, needs that here.
ForGG's living up to his name, timing-oriented.
Yeah.
Right before Storm, seconds, he's going to try and get in there. Can he get there in time, though?
Going to be difficult. Scan goes down. He sees how much, tries to push on forwards. Maybe he was trying to catch a high Templar or two. I'm not sure, but with that now, still trying to go for it. There's the Storm. Does actually finish up. Catches a lot of that bio down to the south here, whilst trying to deal with that army up at the top as well. I wish I knew how to zoom out, but I don't. So someone can tweet me that, and that'll be great. I am currently observing.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, ToD survived. This is great for him. He needs to get his base saturated on the third, needs gases, and needs to start upgrading and continuing his defense. Nothing but good defense here is needed for ToD. He absolutely needs solid defense.
And nice Storm hits a little bit of that bio once again here. Army supplies not looking too bad just yet for ToD, but at the same time he's losing the ability to properly kite now, as he doesn't really have any zealots.
Don't get over eager. You don't need to go down there. Just keep on defending. I don't think he needed to go down there. He lost a little bit too much there. And he's down in supply.
He lost a lot of zealots as well as the force fields trying to deal with this, but actually the force fields work against this. Hallucinated Archon here as well, trying to soak some damage, but ForGG's just kiting very nicely.
ForGG's getting only stronger and stronger as seconds go by. ToD needs to play defensive to build up the right army. Hellbats are coming in now. Better upgrades are kicking in for ForGG. I think ToD was too eager on the defense.
GG. ForGG takes it 2-0. So some sweeps early on from our two arguably favorite players here.
But that means now that the winner's match is the match that everybody wanted to see from Group A here to start off the WCS Europe Premier League Season 3. It's Naniwa versus ForGG. A game that they played yesterday where ForGG did win 2-1, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a good series. It was actually kind of fun to watch. But now they'll have the pleasure to play the rematch against each other, where it really matters, because ForGG and Naniwa both qualified to go to New York. So even though they played, they both were going to play in the Intel Extreme Masters New York. But now, you know, who moves on to the round of 16 and who doesn't? Who goes down to the losers?
We shall see. Naniwa, I think he might want a little bit of revenge here after considering what actually happened yesterday. But now, after the break, guys, we shall go on to the winner's match. Will it be Naniwa or will it be ForGG? We shall see.